Alright then, it is the beginning of the month, and therefore we are doing the Path series, and this month I thought we'd have a bit of a look at Thelema. Welcome to my channel. You are entering the world of magic and mysticism with your host, Lee W. Johnson. Keep the lights on and help improve the channel by becoming a supporter for just $2.99 per month. Hit the join button. So the study of Thelema really needs to start with the man himself, Aliester Crowley. Born Edward Alexander Crowley on October 12th, 1875 in Royal Leamington Spa, Warwickshire, England. He came from a devout Christian family. His father, Edward Crowley, was a preacher for the Plymouth Brethren, a conservative evangelical sect, and his mother, Emily Bertha Bishop, was also deeply religious. Crowley's upbringing was strict and religious, and he later, obviously, rebelled against these constraints. Crowley attended Trinity College in Cambridge, where he developed interests in poetry, mountaineering, and the occult. He left Cambridge without a degree, but with a growing reputation for his unconventional behaviour and interest in esoteric subjects. In 1898, Crowley was introduced to the Golden Dawn by Julian L. Baker, who was Frater DDCF, a fellow chemist and member. Crowley was initiated into the Outer Order, or the Neophyte grade, on November 18th, 1898, taking the magical motto Perdurabo, which is Latin for I will endure to the end. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, founded in 1888 by William Wynne Westcott, Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers, and William Robert Woodman, was a prominent magical order in Britain. It is one of the orders or aspects or paths that I will be speaking about in the future. It did combine elements of Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism, and other mystical traditions. Crowley's rapid progress through the ranks of the Golden Dawn was notable, advancing to the Adeptus Minor grade within just a year. His time in the Golden Dawn, however, was marked by conflict. The order experienced internal strife, largely due to disputes over leadership and the authenticity of its teachings. To add to that, Crowley's rapid ascent and unorthodox methods also caused friction. His unconventional lifestyle, open bisexuality, and arrogance made him a controversial figure. The order, particularly the London branch known as the Isis Urania Temple, was split between traditionalists and those who aligned with Crowley's radical approach. Mathers, one of the founders and leader of the Paris branch, did support Crowley. However, many members, including William Butler Yeats and Arthur Edward Waite, opposed him. This conflict culminated in a schism in 1900 when Crowley, backed by Mathers, attempted to seize control of the Golden Dawn's London temple. This attempt did fail, and which led to Crowley's expulsion from the order itself. Despite the fallout, the teachings and rituals of the Golden Dawn did leave a significant impact on Crowley's subsequent work and development of Thelema. After leaving the Golden Dawn, Crowley travelled extensively, studying various mystical and religious traditions. His travels took him to Mexico, where he practiced ceremonial magic, and to India, where he studied yoga and Hindu philosophy. In 1904, during his honeymoon with his first wife, Rose Edith Kelly, Crowley experienced a pivotal event in Cairo, Egypt. It was here when Crowley and Rose engaged in a series of rituals, and Rose began receiving messages from a supernatural entity. If you do go a bit more in depth into this, the events leading up to this, Rose was not interested in any of this spiritual stuff that her husband, or her new husband, was interested in, and she happened to start channeling this entity, which kind of raised Crowley's hackles a little bit and suspicions. But after some testing of the spirit, he came to understand that it was actually a spirit that was trying to communicate this this message to him. So on April 8th, 9th and 10th of 1904, Crowley transcribed these messages, dictated by a being called I Was. This transcription became the Book of the Law, Liber al Vel Legis, definitely the foundational text of Thelema. The Book of the Law proclaimed the advent of a new spiritual era, the Aeon of Horus, introducing the core tenets of Thelema, characterized by the law. Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law, and also love is the law, love and will. This text laid the groundwork for Thelema, emphasizing the discovery and following of one's true will. After receiving the Book of the Law, Crowley dedicated himself to promoting Thelema. He continued to write prolifically, producing texts on magic, mysticism, and Thelemic philosophy. He founded the AA, or the Argentium Astrum, or Silver Star, in 1907, an initiatory order focused on personal spiritual advancement and the attainment of knowledge and conversation with one's holy guardian angel. In 1912, Crowley joined the Ordo Templi Orientis, or the OTO for short, a secret society with Masonic roots. He quickly rose to a leadership position and reconstructed the OTO to align with Thelemic principles. Under Crowley's influence, the OTO adopted the Book of the Law as its central text. Crowley's life continued to be marked by controversy and scandal. He travelled extensively, wrote voluminously, and continued to practice and teach Thelemic magic. He faced financial difficulties, health problems, and legal issues, but remained committed to his spiritual mission. In the 1920s, Crowley established the Abbey of Thelema in Cefalu, I believe it's pronounced, in Sicily, a commune dedicated to Thelemic practice. However, the commune faced legal troubles and was eventually closed by Italian authorities in 1923. Crowley spent his final years in relative obscurity, living in England and writing his autobiography, The Confessions of Aliester Crowley. He died on December 1st, 1947 in Hastings, England. Despite his controversial reputation, Crowley's work has had an extremely lasting influence on Western esotericism, modern occultism, and new religious movements worldwide. Thelema remains a practiced philosophy and spiritual system, with adherents worldwide continuing to explore and expand upon Crowley's teachings. So what is Thelema? Thelema is a spiritual and philosophical system developed by Aliester Crowley, a British occultist in the early 20th century. It is grounded in the idea of individual will and the pursuit of one's true purpose in life, encapsulated in the central tenet, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Thelema integrates elements of Western esotericism, including ceremonial magic, mysticism, and Eastern religious practices. The word Thelema is rare in Greek. I'll just put the Greek word up here somewhere. It really signifies the appetitive will or desire, sometimes even sexual desire. However, it was used extensively in the Septuagint, where it usually refers to the will of God. The Catholic philosopher and theologian Augustine of Hippo gave a similar instruction in his 5th century sermon, Love and What Thou Wilt Do. And I think that should be recognized quite easily and extensively. If we do have a look at the main tenets of Thelema, we find the following. Okay, so firstly, the concept of true will, which is central to Thelema. It is the idea that every person has a unique, authentic purpose or path in life. True will goes beyond mere desires or whims. It represents the deeper spiritual purpose of an individual. Discovering and following one's true will is seen as the path to personal and spiritual fulfillment. Crowley described true will as akin to the orbit of a star, suggesting that each person's true will is harmonious with the universe's order. Next is the law of Thelema. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. This is the fundamental ethical guideline to Thelema. This does not imply hedonism or unrestricted freedom to act selfishly, but rather emphasizes the importance of aligning one's actions with their true will. I have come to understand myself that the emphasis of this statement should be on thou, which is indicative of your own holy guardian angel. The second part of this tenet is love is the law, love under will. And I think if we come back to Augustine of Hippo, who said love and what thou wilt do. I think we can see where that probably came from, at least. So this underscores that true actions must be motivated by love, defined as a profound respect and understanding of oneself and others within the context of one's true will. Also very important to Thelema is the Aeon of Horus. I'll say Horus. The Aeon of Horus. Crowley proclaimed the advent of a new spiritual era called the Aeon of Horus, which follows the Aeon of Osiris and the Aeon of Isis. The Aeon of Horus is characterized by the emphasis on individualism, self-discovery, and the breaking away from the dogmatic constraints of previous religious epochs. In this Aeon, personal responsibility and the pursuit of one's true will become paramount. The main text within Thelema is the Book of the Law, or Liber Vel Legis. As previously mentioned, this foundational text of Thelema was written by Crowley in 1904, purportedly dictated to him by a non-corporeal entity named I Was. The Book of the Law outlines the core principles of Thelema and serves as its scripture. The text is divided into 3 chapters, each attributed to a different deity. There's Nuit, the infinite space and stars; Hadit, the point, the atomic soul of each individual; and Ra Hua Kuit, a form of Horus, symbolizing the new Aeon. In terms of practices, we obviously find magic to be prominent, and that is magic with a K. Crowley redefined magic as the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. This involves rituals, meditation, and other practices aimed at aligning the practitioner with their true will. Thelemic magic draws on a variety of traditions, including Western ceremonial magic, Eastern mysticism, and Crowley's own innovations. I know people are usually curious about where the spelling, that being magic with a K, actually came from. I have heard various reasonings regarding it, including that it simply differentiates it from stage magic. However, the one I tend to stick with is that magic without a K has 5 letters, which is the number of the pentagram, whereas magic with a K has 6 letters, with 6 being the number of the hexagram and therefore planetary in aspect and related to the great work. It tends to be a differentiation mostly between low and high magic. So within the Thelemic practices, there is also a large emphasis on rituals and ceremonies. Thelemites practice rituals to invoke deities, banish negative influences, and consecrate their wills. Key rituals include the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, or the LBRP, or quite often Crowley's version, the star ruby, together with the star sapphire and other such rituals, the Gnostic Mass, and personal rituals developed by Crowley and his followers. The Gnostic Mass is the central public ritual of Thelema, designed to celebrate the mysteries of Thelema and the communion with the divine. Regarding the initiatory orders, Crowley founded and was involved with several, such as the AA or the Argentium Astrum and the OTO, Ordo Templi Orientis. You'll probably find that the OTO is more the public face of Thelema itself. These organizations provide structured paths for spiritual advancement and the study of Thelemic principles. The AA specifically focuses on personal spiritual development and the attainment of knowledge and conversation with one's holy guardian angel, a central mystical goal in Thelema. The OTO incorporates Thelemic philosophy into a broader framework of fraternal organization and esoteric instruction. Further to that, we find that the cosmology and symbolism within Thelema incorporates a pantheon of deities primarily derived from ancient Egyptian religion, including Nuit, Hadit, and Rahu Kuit. These deities represent various cosmic principles and aspects of the individual's psyche. Nuit symbolizes infinite space and the potentiality of existence. Hadit represents the point of view of the individual, the core of one's being. And Rahuaquit embodies the active, assertive principle and the new aeon. The Kabbalistic tree of life is a key symbol in Thelema, representing the structure of the universe and the path to spiritual enlightenment. Each sephira and path corresponds to different aspects of the spiritual journey and the human psyche. Crowley designed the Thoth tarot deck, which incorporates Thelemic symbols and concepts. The tarot is used as a tool for divination, meditation, and understanding the dynamics of one's true will. Regarding ethics and philosophy, Thelema places a strong emphasis on individualism, encouraging practitioners to break free from societal norms and dogmas to discover and follow their own true will. This pursuit of freedom is balanced by the recognition of the interconnectedness of all beings, where the true will of one should not infringe upon the true will of another. Crowley also advocated for a rational approach to spirituality, blending mystical experiences with scientific inquiry. This principle, known as scientific illuminism, encourages rigorous testing and validation of spiritual practices. Thelemites are encouraged to be skeptical, to experiment with practices, and to verify their results through personal experience. Thelema has influenced a wide range of spiritual, philosophical, and cultural movements, and has also impacted contemporary occult practices, inspiring various new religious movements and esoteric traditions. So what do you want to read? To gain a more comprehensive understanding of Thelema, it is essential to explore both the foundational texts written by Crowley and subsequent works by scholars and practitioners that provide context, interpretation, and practical guidance, really. I would like to first mention the student reading list from the website Astrum Argentium. I will provide the link. It'll be in the corner over here somewhere, and also in the description, so just go into the description below. This does tend to kind of split into the classes and the grades, so you can work through the text progressively. It's a brilliant site, and it provides, I think, about probably 95% of the texts you actually need to read. However, to highlight some important texts besides what you can find there, starting with the primary text by Aliester Crowley. All of these books can be found on my Amazon storefront in a particular folder. Well, I'm not sure if it's folder, category, whatever it is. Well, it's labeled Thelema, but I'll put the link up here again and in the description, just so you can find your way there. I do earn a commission from the sales of the paperbacks, so if you do go there and buy a paperback, I really do appreciate it. Okay, so let's have a look. This is quite a shortened list, really. This is just trying to pinpoint the main texts. So obviously the first one is the Book of the Law, Liber Alvel Legis. Yeah, I think we've spoken about that quite extensively just now, so I'm not going to rehash that. Second book is Magic in Theory and Practice. This is a comprehensive guide to Crowley's system of ceremonial magic, combining theory with practical instructions. It provides detailed insights into Thelemic magic and Crowley's approach to ritual and mystical practices. Then there's the Equinox. This was a series of publications, often referred to as the Encyclopedia of Initiation. Contained Crowley's writings on magic, mysticism, and Thelema, as well as contributions from other members of his orders. The Equinox offers a wide-ranging exploration of Thelemic philosophy, rituals, and symbolism, and I think there was probably 10. But if you go to the link for Astrum Argentium, where I'm supplying that reading list, there are you can download all of the publications of the Equinox there, except for the Blue Equinox, I think, which was a special edition. But anyway, it's a lot to read, so you'll definitely have your reading cut out for you. Then there's the Book of Thoth, Crowley's detailed guide to the tarot, specifically his own Thoth tarot deck, which is rich in Thelemic symbolism. It is essential for understanding the symbolic and divinatory aspects of Thelema. In the Amazon storefront folder that I'm linked to as well, I have included a book by Lon Milo de Ket, which I'll get to, well, any books by Lon Milo de Ket, but I'll get to the various other books just now. But I've also included a link to the Thoth deck itself, in case you want to grab that. Then there's The Vision and the Voice, Liber XXX Aurum. This chronicles Crowley's mystical experiences and visions during his exploration of the Enochian ethers, and provides deep insights into Crowley's spiritual experiences and the mystical dimensions of Thelema. Alright, so that really covers Crowley's specific works. So now into works by other people. Firstly, The Magical Diaries of Aliester Crowley. This is Tunisia, 1923, and this was edited by Stephen Skinner. This is a collection of Crowley's diaries that provide personal insights into his daily practices, thoughts, and experiences, offers a more intimate view of Crowley's life and the practical application of Thelemic principles. The second one is The Law is for All, the authorized popular commentary of Liber Alvel Legis, edited by Louis Wilkinson and Hymenaeus Beta. I think that's how you say the name. Now this is an overly priced book. I think it was about $135 if you can find it on Amazon. I believe I did list it anyway, just in case you want to grab it there. But it's definitely worth getting, and if you can find it in a secondhand bookstore or online somewhere, grab it. It is a commentary on the Book of the Law, providing explanations and interpretations to help readers understand its cryptic and poetic language. makes the core text of Thelema more accessible and comprehensible. And if you have read the Book of the Law, you'll understand why that's important. It's an extremely difficult book to decipher. I think you can spend a whole lifetime trying to decipher that book. Living Thelema is the next one, a practical guide to attainment in Aliester Crowley's system of magic. This is by David Schumacher. This is a practical guide to Thelemic practice, including meditation, ritual, and psychological techniques, valuable for both beginners and advanced practitioners looking to apply Thelemic principles in their lives. All right, and then the fourth one, there's just two more, and then a mention of Lon Milo Duquette's books. So we have Aliester Crowley and the Practice of the Magical Diary, edited by James Wasserman, or Wasserman, I'm not sure. This explains the importance of keeping a magical diary and offers a guidance on how to maintain one effectively. Emphasizes the practical aspects of Thelemic practice and self-reflection. And as I'm always saying on this channel, journal, keep your records. So that would be an interesting one to get, important one to get if you can. And then Perdurabo, The Life of Aliester Crowley by Richard Kaczynski, I think that's how you pronounce the name. So this is a comprehensive biography of Aliester Crowley and that explores his life, works, and the development of Thelema. Provides context and background to Crowley's teachings and the historical development of Thelema. And lastly, Lon Milo Duquette. He's written several books about Crowley and the system of Thelema, which, I mean, they're excellent. Lon Milo Duquette is a great author, he really is. Some of the books that I'd like to just mention would be Understanding Aliester Crowley's Thoth Tarot. So that can go hand in hand with Crowley's book and the deck itself. And then The Magic of Thelema. It's a handbook of the rituals of Aliester Crowley. There's also The Magic of Aliester Crowley, a handbook of the rituals of Thelema. I'm not entirely sure if they're the same thing. I'll have to go back and just double check that. But yeah, go and have a look at Duquette's books anyway. Go through them. As I said, you'll find plenty in regards to Crowley and Thelema. So yeah. Alright, so that is our introduction or look at Crowley, or Thelema at least. You know, as I said, when you have a look at Thelema, you have to look at Crowley, the man himself, because he was the cornerstone to the whole thing, really. And yeah, that's it for this month's past series and this week. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one until then. Cheers. Bye-bye.